What made the high school legend become a legend? Ken Fitzgerald became a legend not for sports or academics, but for infiltrating and exposing our principal's affair by becoming his mistress's fake teenage son for 6 months. It started when Ken noticed Principal Morrison's car at weird places. Morrison was married with 3 kids, coached Little League, full family man image, but Ken saw his car at a motel, at an apartment complex across town, at restaurants where he was definitely not with his wife. Ken wasn't planning anything initially. He just mentioned it to friends, joking about Morrison having a secret life. Then we discovered the mistress, Ashley, a 26-year-old yoga instructor who thought Morrison was divorced and wealthy. He was neither. Most kids would have spread gossip or told parents. Ken did something insane. He created an entire fake identity as Tyler, Ashley's troubled teenage son from a fictional previous relationship. He dyed his hair, changed his style, adopted a slight accent, and started showing up places Ashley frequented. The introduction was brilliant. Ken accidentally bumped into Ashley at her yoga studio, pretending to be lost and looking for his mom. When she said she wasn't his mom, he acted confused, showed her a photo on his phone, photoshopped, of her with him as a child. Ashley, confused but compassionate, tried to help him figure out the mistake. Ken played it perfectly. He acted disoriented, mentioned recent head trauma from a skating accident, seemed genuinely distressed. Ashley, being genuinely kind, took him to get coffee to calm down. By the end, she was convinced he might be having memory issues from his injury. Over weeks, Ken kept accidentally running into Ashley. He'd act increasingly confused but harmless, mentioning memories that never happened but were specific enough to seem real. Remember when we lived in Portland? Ashley had lived in Portland. You used to sing that song, naming Ashley's favorite song from her Instagram. Ashley started believing maybe she had memory issues. She brought Ken/Tyler to therapy with her, where he brilliantly maintained the act. The therapist suggested DNA testing. Ken had anticipated this, somehow got Ashley's DNA from a coffee cup, and submitted his own cousin's DNA, who looked nothing like him, to make it seem like a lab error. Meanwhile, Ken was gathering evidence. Ashley talked about her boyfriend constantly. Ken recorded everything. Morrison's lies, the money he was stealing from school funds to pay for the apartment, the promises to leave his wife, everything. The legendary moment came at the school's family BBQ. Ken attended as Tyler, Ashley's son. Morrison saw them together and went pale. Ashley introduced Tyler to Morrison as her recently reunited son. Morrison tried to play it cool but was visibly panicked. Ken played the perfect troubled teen, mentioning how nice Morrison was to his mom, how he came over late at night to help with taxes, how Morrison was teaching him life lessons in the apartment Morrison's wife didn't know existed. Morrison's wife was 3 feet away. She heard everything. The explosion was contained but visible. Morrison's wife quietly asked Ashley how long she'd been seeing her husband. Ashley, confused, said he was divorced. The wife showed her wedding ring. Ashley went white. Tyler acted confused, asking if this meant Mr. Morrison won't be our new dad, but Ken wasn't done. He pulled out his phone, pretending to show Ashley photos of their memories, but actually played recordings of Morrison bad-mouthing his wife, calling his kids disappointments, and describing embezzling school funds. The entire BBQ stopped. 300 people watched Morrison's life implode. His wife took the kids and left. Ashley slapped him and ran. The school board members present heard about the embezzlement. Police arrived within an hour. Ken then revealed himself, pulled off the wig, dropped the accent, announced his actual name. The crowd went insane. Students started cheering. Parents were confused but impressed. The school board was horrified but couldn't punish him. He hadn't technically broken any laws. Morrison was arrested for embezzlement, lost his job, his family, his reputation. Ashley, surprisingly, wasn't angry at Ken. She thanked him for showing her the truth, even called him the son I never had, which was weird given the circumstances. Ken's methods were investigated but deemed legal, if unethical. He never claimed to be Tyler to authorities, never signed anything, never actually defrauded anyone. He'd just been a very convincing actor who happened to record conversations in public places. Colleges heard about it. MIT's admissions essay prompt the next year was literally, "Tell us about a time you solved a problem unconventionally." Ken got into MIT, Harvard, and Stanford. His essay was just a link to the news coverage. He's now in cybersecurity, specifically social engineering prevention. His company's tagline, "If a teenager can become your mistress's son, your security needs work." The legend lives on. Every year, someone suggests pulling a Ken Fitzgerald on problematic authority figures. None have succeeded. Ken set the bar impossibly high. He didn't just expose corruption. He became part of the corrupt story, then revealed it was all theater.